Hi, my name is Emily Kramer, and I am doing the Value Line Stock Project. The company I've researched is Lululemon, and they are in the NASDAQ market. They are a part of the retail soft lines industry. I'm going to first show a full shot of my Value Line page, and as I talk about each part, I will zoom in on the area I'm discussing. Here's a full quick glance at what my full Value Line page looks like. I'm going to begin at the top of my Value Line page and work my way down. First, in the top row, I have the most recent price and the PE ratios. I found these numbers on the Yahoo website under Finance by searching my company's symbol and looking under the Statistics section and the Historical Data section. Next, I will discuss the box containing the timeliness, safety, technical numbers, and beta. For these values, I looked at past Value Line statements since these numbers don't alter too easily. These numbers measure the rank regarding risk and performance of the company. For the beta value, I looked on the Yahoo Finance website like I did for the most recent price and the PE ratios. Next, I will discuss the capital structure, quarterly revenues, and also quarterly dividends. To find the total debt and other information listed under the capital structure section, I looked online for the company's quarterly statements. I also used the Yahoo Finance website and the NASDAQ sites to confirm the common stock values and the market cap values. For quarterly revenues, I used the quarterly statements to find the April value and used my knowledge and past predictions to predict the values for July, October, and January. To make my predictions, I also looked at the past prediction for April and the real value now to see how much it changed. Lastly, there is nothing recorded for dividends, as you can see, because for this company, they didn't record anything, which is why all the dividends are purposely left blank. Now I will discuss the box containing financial strength, stock price stability, price growth persistence, and earnings predictability. Most of these values remain similar or slightly altered to the most recent Value Line statement since they don't change that easily. The stability was already low, and I think it should stay there because the statements for this company show them moving around a lot in terms of current price, which means they aren't that stable. And for growth persistence, it is higher because they don't usually work their way back up to higher values after they perform poorly, so they don't have that great of persistence. I did, however, change the financial strength value to a B++ because Lululemon didn't perform that well in the first quarter, and I believe that they deserved a lower grade for their strength. Next, I will move back up the page on the right side to talk about a very important section. This is called the financial ratio box. This box contains over 20 different values pertaining to this company. First, to find the sales per share, you divide the total revenue by the weighted average of shares outstanding. To find most of this information and the numbers you need to solve for these different values, you can look at the Yahoo Finance page or other quarterly reports from the company. To find the cash flow per share, you sum earnings and depreciation and subtract preferred dividends, and it is calculated on a per share basis. To find the earnings per share, you find earnings available to common shareholders and divide that by the weighted average number of shares outstanding for the period. As I stated before, all of the dividend sections are empty because there are none for this company. To find the common shares outstanding, I looked on the financial statements as well as on the Yahoo Finance website, where it is stated on the website. The PE ratios were already discussed and can be found located above this area on the Value Line page. To find the sales, gross margin, and operating margin, I located the previous quarter statement released by Lululemon. To find the gross margin, you would subtract cost of goods sold from revenue and then turn it into a percentage. To find the operating margin, you have to look at the company's total profit before taxes. And usually they just list sales directly on the quarterly statement. The number of stores was found by researching the company and finding their most recent statement, which was from the first quarter of the year, where they discussed how many stores are open and how many they are closing. The net profit was found on the most recent income statement that was released by Lululemon. The last few values were all taken from the last value line statement, since I did not have the numbers to fully predict what these percentages would be, and also since they mainly change on a yearly basis, not on a quarterly basis. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the 4 text boxes I created. The first one discusses how the company is currently doing. I found all this information via Lululemon on their website and on their most recently released quarterly information. I also analyzed changes from the last value line statement to predict how they are currently performing. The next 2 sections are called Recent Developments and Potential Plans. These sections talk about what the company has recently done and how they are preparing for the future. In multiple articles, it talked about how this company has closed their sister company stores, called Aviva, to expand their online presence. I also talked about how they are performing better than the first quarter since they started off a bit rocky. Lastly, I talked about whether it's a good time to invest in this stock or not. I don't believe right now is the best time since they are just starting to get back on their feet after a rough first quarter. I think it should be waited out a little bit more until they are more stable. The only section that is missing is the graph section. I will show an image of this graph in this video, and you can also find a more extensive version in the book. Here's what the graph looks like. I hope you enjoyed hearing my explanations behind how I found these values to create my own value line page for Lululemon. Thank you.